you really beat the DDP, or is Mickey just like Vegas and the house always wins? Let's do some math. We're mathing. Let's math. Hi friends, this is Laura Kromzak with the Disney Slowdown, where I'm going to help you plan your magical vacations and hopefully stay on budget. There are a lot of enchanting extras that you can get with your Disney vacation, and the Disney dining plan is one of those that's quite controversial. It's not necessarily billed as a value type of service, more of a convenience. And the more that I look into it, the more that I think you're overpaying for your food when you get the DDP. There are two types of Disney dining plans that you can get with your Disney stay. One is the standard option, and that is one table service meal, one quick service meal, and one snack per day. The other one is the quick service plan, and that is 2 quick service meals and a snack per day. The first caveat that I will tell you about is it's not the days in the park that you have, it is the nights of stay. So if you book 5 park days, but you're only spending 4 nights at a Disney resort and you get the Disney dining plan, they're only going to charge you for 4 days worth of meals. That can be a double-edged sword, can it? If you have everything planned to the T and you're arriving in Orlando bright and early and you plan on spending a full day at the parks or resort hopping or even at Disney Springs, then you have your 4 nights, and maybe the day that you check out, you're not leaving until late at night. So now we're talking about 6 full days in the Disney bubble, and you only have 8 meals and 4 snacks per person. Is that enough? Do you need to buy more? Did you get cheated? What's the deal? Well, Disney does it this way because most of the time you do have your 2 travel days. You're not spending a full day. So you're not necessarily going to need 2 full meals and a snack for both the day that you arrive and the day that you leave. And it would be a huge waste of money if Disney charged you for every single day that you were on their property in the Disney dining plan. And if they're giving it to you for free, oh, that's a whole nother conversation. Obviously, they're not going to give you more than what you could possibly use. So they've settled on the terms 2 meals and a snack per night of stay. Yes, you can purchase more meals. You can pay for meals out of pocket. That's totally acceptable. You do not have to have only the Disney dining plan when you are in the Disney bubble. The question is this really worth it, or are you just overpaying for food? The quick service plan is currently $57.01 per day per adult. Now, a Disney adult is anybody that's 10 years old and older. It doesn't matter if they're little. It doesn't matter if they're small eaters. If they are 10 years old or older, they are an adult. You get adult prices. You get adult portions. Now let's break this math down. 57.01 for 2 quick service meals and a snack. I've been eating around the Disney bubble for about 2 years now, pretty regularly, and most of your quick service entrees don't ring in at $14.99 like the website says. They give you an average cost, and they always bill the quick service at $14.99. Now, I guess with tax, you would come in right around that, but most of the meals, your chicken strips, your burgers, those are going to come in between $10 and $12. And they usually come with a side. Most of the time it's fries. A few locations you can select something different than just French fries, but most of the time your standard side is French fries. So if your quick service meal comes in at about $15, and then you get a drink with that as well, that can range from soda to a bottle of water, some kind of a specialty beverage like a lemonade or a milkshake. And if you are over the age of 21, you could also get an alcoholic beverage. Those non-alcoholic beverages are going to run between $4.50 to about $7. So if we're at $15 for the entree and the fries that come with it, about $7 maybe for a drink, although most of the locations don't have the high-end drinks, so we're going to say $6. I think that's safe. $6 for some kind of a specialty drink that's not just soda. That's $21. Times 2, that's $42. 57 minus 42, and that leaves us with $15. There are not many snacks on property that are $15. Your funnel cake sundaes, which you can find at Hollywood Studios and over in the America Pavilion at Epcot, those run $12.99 plus tax, so you're going to be pushing that $15. But there are not many other high dollar snacks that you're going to be able to get in Disney. So the question is now, are you really just overpaying for your food? If you drink alcohol, then your portion, you might actually get more value than what you're paying for. Alcoholic beverages are going to range between $12 and even up to $18 for a cocktail. However, the day that you're in Magic Kingdom, there's no alcohol served in Magic Kingdom. So you're going to have to go with a soda, a bottle of water, or some kind of a specialty beverage if you can find it. And you do have to get your beverage along with your entree. So it's not like you can go to Cosmic Rays and get a burger and fries and then head over to the Cheshire Cafe for some kind of a specialty or seasonal drink, or even go to Joffrey's for one of their fancy coffees. That's going to cost you a snack credit. You have to get the beverage at the same location that you get your entree. It comes with it. And you may drink alcohol, but your children don't, which means you could be overpaying for their meals and then getting a little bit more value out of what you paid for yours with the alcoholic beverages. I understand that it's a convenience, and if that's the way you want to bill it, that's great. I just wanted you to be aware that this is not a situation where Disney is trying to save you money. Now, what if you do have 5 park days, but only 4 days of dining? How do you spread that out? Well, here's my recommendation. If Epcot has a food festival, I would save up all those snack credits, and I would use the snack credits at the food booths, especially food and wine. Or maybe there are some restaurants that you really want to try in one park, but another park you're not so keen. There are several protein-worthy snacks around the parks that you could use a snack credit and just have a really light lunch, or maybe even a light dinner. Or maybe you had a big lunch somewhere and then you decided maybe a little bit lighter dinner would be sufficient. Don't want to eat a whole bunch of food before you go to bed, right? There are also lots of locations over in Disney Springs where you could use your quick service meal plan. So I don't think spending them will be a problem. The question is, do you get them at all? I can already hear you in my head. Well, what if I've got a promotion and they gave me the free dining plan? Like, isn't that worth it? It's free food, right? No. Since the dining plan came back after the pandemic closures, the only promotions that I have seen are you have to stay on Disney property, which was always the case. Some of them, they do require a certain number of nights stayed, like 4 nights stayed. They wouldn't just let you get 1 or 2 nights and then get the dining plan. They also required that you purchase a hopper ticket. So let's look at a family of 5, because that's the math that I like to go with, because that's what we are. I really don't like when people are like, oh, for a typical family of 4, well, I'm not a family of 4, I'm a family of 5. And honestly, I know a lot of families that are more than 4. So we're going with 5. Everybody else can do their family of 4. There are very few locations that we can stay at as a family of 5. Art of Animation does have some family suites that will sleep 5. Trying to figure out the actual cost for a Disney resort is like nailing Jell-O to the wall. There is no standard rate because the prices fluctuate based on how many people Disney thinks are going going to be coming to Disney World at any given moment. For example, if I were to go on and look at Art of Animation in November, sleeping 5 people, it could be around $300 or more depending on the week that I choose. But if I choose in January, right after the Christmas season has all been swept away, the standard rate for a single room sleeping 5 people at Art of Animation is $170 per night. You are not allowed to use additional promotions if you also get the free dining plan, which means that your room rate could be $142 a night with a promotion that Disney's running right now. But if I go for the dining plan that's included, okay, 4 nights, it's about $30 a night, right? So 2 of my adults for 1 day, technically we're paying for. But what about the rest of them? Well, the other caveat has been the Park Hopper Pass. That's an extra that you may or may not be splurging on. That's an additional $20 per day per person. That is an extra $100 per day for our family. And remember, we bought 5 days worth of tickets, not just 4 days worth of tickets. So now we have an extra $500. There goes your savings. And if you add that $500 to the $120 that I'm paying extra for my room, that's $620. So 57 and 1 penny times 5 people, that is $285 a day that is spent on dining. Now, if you subtract $100 that we weren't going to spend on Hopper tickets, you also take into account the extra $30 that you are overpaying for your room, and that's just at Art of Animation. Then it looks like in actuality, they're giving us about $155 per day that it's actually free. That's quite a bit different than 2 meals and 1 snack credit at $57 per day. That's free. Now, don't get me wrong. That's a lot of food. I get it. I just want you to be aware that if you want to save money on food, the dining plan might not be the way to go. Here's something interesting. The standard dining plan, which is 1 table service credit and 1 quick service credit and 1 snack per person per day, that one actually has more potential for you getting your value out of all that money over the quick service plan. And here's why. If character dining is your thing or signature restaurants are your thing, most of your character dining, it's either going to be prix or it's going to be a buffet or family style. So it's kind of a set menu. You don't really get to choose your entree and items. Those fall in at about $55 per adult. That one is going to be more of a break-even type of situation, but there are character dining opportunities and signature dining where you order off of a menu. Some of those entrees are pretty higher priced, like if you go for the steaks or the lobster. One of those meals where you're selecting the items off of the menu, they could come in at closer to $80 to $90. And the standard dining plan is around $94 a day per person per adult. So that's where you're more likely to get your value or get more than your value. Here's the catch. Some of your signature dining, some of your character dining require 2 table service credits. And then that wipes you out completely again, because now instead of paying $60 or $90 for a fancy meal or a character dining opportunity, you're actually paying $120. I just want you to be aware of how this math works, because it can be a little confusing. And when you're adding things on and you're like, oh yeah, let's just add this, let's just add this. Disney's already gotten you in the habit of saying yes, 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 yes. Then we put on the dining plan. And if you don't do that math and you're not familiar with the parks and what things cost, you could overpay for your food. And Disney's expensive enough. If you are finding value in this video, would you please like it, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell? That way you'll know whenever I put up a new video. And I would really appreciate it if you would help me get the word out about my channel and send this video to a friend or 2 or 10. I really appreciate your support. So what do I do if I decide I'm going for the dining plan anyway? Well, first of all, it's a mindset. If that's the way you want to handle it and you just want the convenience of being able to use a snack credit, prepay for your entire vacation before you hit the parks, and then you don't have to worry about how much things cost, fabulous. Do that. If you are getting table service credits, you're going to have to book reservations. You're going to be able to look at the menus. I would look at the menus and see what will you eat? What will your kids eat? Because if it's mostly quick service during your 5-day vacation, but you want to have like one special dining opportunity, you can book that. Or maybe you just want to eat at all the restaurants in Disney World. Not all table service are created equal. There's a couple over in Hollywood Studios that are just a little bit above a quick service meal, like the Sci-Fi Diner, for example. Fun, entertaining, but it's the same food that you're going to get at Backlot. It's just $10 more. And be aware that gratuities at a table service restaurant are not covered by your Disney dining plan. So you will be paying gratuities at the time of your meal. Please be aware of that and tip your servers well. They've earned it. Did I burst your bubble? I'm sorry. I just want you to be informed. Okay, so now you're depressed and you thought you had this plan to making the Disney vacation as cheap as possible. So now how can we do this that's less expensive and we just pay for our food outright? You can always go on to the My Disney Experience app. You can go on to the filters, look at dining in whatever park you're at, even at Disney Springs, even at the resorts, and you can make a plan. Maybe you bring your protein snacks and your peanut butter crackers or a sandwich in and you do a specialty dinner. Or maybe you grab a lunch and then while you're watching the parade or you're watching the fireworks, you can pull out sandwiches. I mean, there are options. I still always recommend packing your protein snacks in your bags because lines can get long, and if you're trying to eat when everybody else in Disney World is trying to eat, you may not be able to get that mobile order reservation or walk up to a food stand or a restaurant and pick up food within 10-15 minutes. Always be prepared with those protein snacks so nobody's getting hangry and emotions are not overflowing. You are always going to be able to find sugar in Disney. Pack your protein in your park bag. One of my first videos was about preparing for your park trip and what you should put in your park bag. I'm going to link that for you here, just so you have all the essentials that you need to get yourself around Disney World, and hopefully we've thought of everything and you won't have to make any trips outside of the bubble to pick up medicine or Band-Aids. And always bring that water bottle. I have an Amazon wish list link in the description box below. These are items that we bring to the parks, items that you can get ahead of time so that your kids have a bubble wand or an autograph book, but you're not paying Disney prices for those items. That's in the description. I hope that helps you shop. Let me know in the comments, is there something else on there that needs to be on there that I forgot? We don't have little kids anymore. I tried to think through all those for you. So tell me, are you a fan of the DDP? Are you glad that it's back? I was excited to try to use the DDP before the pandemic closures and when I had 3 kids under the age of 9, and they gave 2 snack credits per person per day. I was ready. I had the plan. I was so excited, but then I exchanged that dream for my family going on a Disney cruise, and I don't regret it at all. I'm glad that we went on the Disney cruise, but now that the dining plan is back and my kids are all older than 10, I don't see us using the Disney dining plan. Now, I have some friends and they have passes to Disney and their goal was to eat at every Disney restaurant. Just as adults, they would take adult weekends a couple times a year down to Disney. And I thought, that is so cool. If my husband were into Disney and wanted to do something like that, I think I would consider the dining plan because I know that we would be trying those fancier restaurants. But other than that, I prefer to just snack around the world, definitely hit the Epcot food booths, and try different quick service locations. I'm looking forward to my mom's trip in December because there are some quick service locations that I haven't tried yet that I think she'll be interested in. And when we go to Disney Springs, we've already decided we are going to try the restaurant Eat. It's an Indian restaurant. We haven't been there yet. Very excited to try it. It's going to have gluten-free options for my mom, and she likes spice too. I can't wait to tell you all about it. Thanks for joining me today. I hope this helps you plan your Disney vacation. I hope it helps you save a few dollars and maybe rethink some of your plans. I would love to know what you think in the comments. And hey, is there another video that you would like me to do? Some topic that you would like more information on? I'd love to know. We'll see you on my next video.